Hello everyone. In the last session of SQL, we have talked about what is database, what is MySQL and SQL, and in that we have seen a little bit about some basic commands like creating table, creating database, dropping a table, dropping a database, and selecting the table which we have created and inserting data into the table. Now in this session what we are going to do is that we will learn some more new commands of SQL, and we will see different conditions, how we can create constraints, how we can use the concept of primary key and foreign key in the creation of our tables. So the first command we are going to learn in this session is where clause. So the thing you need to remember here is clause is basically a condition. If you remember when we study Java or JavaScript, now in that we have talked about conditional statements. In programming we have different conditional statements. For example, we have if else block, switch statement, and like this we have also like jump statements like continue, break. While we are using for loops and looping sort of things, while for loop, all these loops, we use this jump statements, and to create conditions we use this if else statements. Similarly, if we want to create conditions in our SQL, then we use clauses. We have different types of clauses, like we have where clause, ordered clause, limit clause. Like this we have different types of clauses, and in this session we will cover clauses, aggregate functions, and we will see how we can use the concept of aggregate function to perform real-time examples as well. We will make a table through which we will understand each and every operation. First of all, I will visualize a table. Okay, so in this session I'm gonna create a database. Let's say the database name is student database. Let me change my pen here. Okay, the database name is student database. Okay, so in that what I'm gonna do is that I will create a table, and in this table the first column of the table, the diagram might be a little bit weird and not good, but yeah, the concept is going to be really crisp and clear. Okay, so here in the first column I'm gonna store the ID of a particular student. Okay, after that I will store the name of the student. After storing name, let's say his class, grade. I'm writing this diagram very badly, but yeah, I'm not an artist, so yeah, department. So these are the columns which we are having in this table, and the ID is going to be our primary key. You might ask, Jabir, what is primary key? Primary key are the values in a particular column in which all the column values are unique and they are not null. If we satisfy these two conditions, then that particular constraint would be a primary key, and in a table there will be only one primary key. The thing you need to remember is in primary key all the values are unique and not null. So here if a particular column is unique, then the given all the column values should be unique and not null, plus not null. And we already know, let's say we are having a batch of 100 students. Right now they are like around 30 students live in the class right now. Okay, so here all students will have unique IDs. For example, if my roll number is C9, then some other person will have some other roll number, right? And they will not be in the same department. There will never be students whose roll numbers are same. So here the first column is going to be our primary key. After that we will store the name of the students, class, his grade, department, and let me fill the data points also. Here let's say roll number is 1, name is Jabir, and class is, let's say A section or first year, class first year, grade is 9.8, and department is CSE. Similarly, roll number 2, let's say it is 1, and second year, CGPA is 9.9, CSE, and third student is Moinuddin something, and third year 9.9, CAI department. Like this I am storing data points in my table. Now what I will do is that through this table we will understand each and every clauses, each and every aggregate functions. Okay, so first of all let me create the table. Okay, so here I will open my workbench. I will create a new connection. Let's say the connection name is student. So here student, test the connection, and connection has successful. Click on OK. You can see my server, MySQL server is activated. I will click on it, and here first of all what I will do is that I will create my database. So here I will write create database. Let's say my database name is student form. This is my database which I have created. Now what I'm gonna do is that I will use this database to create my tables. So here I will write use student form. Okay, I will run these two commands and it will show me, okay, create database student form, use student form syntax. Okay, first of all let me create this first command. I will create the command. It is showing some sort of error. Why it is showing some sort of error? Okay, here I need to give statement terminator. After each and every line I should give statement terminator. Okay, and run this command. You can see my database has created. First of all let me zoom it. This might be a little bit here. Let me zoom it. You can see first of all I have created my database. After creating the database I will use my database. I will run this. You can see in the command screen you can see I'm using the database, use student database. Now after creating and using database I will create my table. So here I will write create table. Let's say table name is students. In this what I'm gonna do is that I will create first of all ID of every student. So here I will give ID int, and here let me choose it int, and this is going to be our primary key. So here primary key, and after this I will name each and every student. So varchar, and I will store the character, basically the string of name of each and every student, right? After this here I need to give comma, not statement terminator, comma. Now age, let's say age is integer, and grade is going to be a single character, so I will write char, and the size of this is going to be 1, either A grade, B grade, C grade, something like that. Now after this department is going to be varchar again, a string of 10 characters, and here after that I will write marks. What are his marks? Int. Now after creating all this you can see I have created my table successfully. I will run the command, and I want you guys to observe the command screen. Okay, let me, how I don't know, like this interface is very weird sometimes. Like I wanna, yeah, you can see here in the command screen, I hope this is, the text is very small here, I don't know why, but when I run this command I will see my table is create table, all these things. Now after creating table I will insert data into my table. So here I will write insert. Okay, here insert, let me come here. Okay, insert into table, like table name is students, and what are the columns I'm having? ID, name, age, grade, department, comma, marks. Okay, now in this I'm gonna store different values of students. Here let's say I'm storing roll number 1, his name is Jabir, and age is around 18, and grade is A grade or O grade is good. Okay, now after this department, CSE department, or I can give science department, SCIENCE. Okay, ENC, science department, and his marks are around 90. Now after storing first student like this, I will copy the same line. I will copy the same line here and I will paste it here. Again, paste it, and here, okay, now in the place of it, roll number is 2, name is Rizwan, and age is 19, grade is O grade, science student, and let's say marks is around 95. Okay, after this again I will store third student, roll number is 3, name is something like Moen, and age is 19, O grade, let's say he's a math student, so here I will write math student, marks are 99. Like this I will store and write 3-4 values. Okay, so let me create. You can see one more thing is, interesting thing is, you can see it is showing some sort of error. Like whenever I write it, you can see it is showing some sort of error, because all values in a primary key should be unique and not null. If I am repeating 2 values now, then my SQL will give me an error. Okay, so here I will give number 4, let's say name is Khan, and roll number, age is around 19, science student, or you can say history student. So history student. So till now what I did, marks are, let's say 90. Okay, so what I did, basically, let me zoom it a little bit. Okay, I have created a table, a student table, and I have inserted the value in that table, 4 values of each and every like student. Now let me run this command. I hope this command will run. You can see I have inserted the values into the table. Now let us go back to our concept and let us understand what is the meaning of clause. Okay, so here the first clause we are having is where clause. Where clause is basically a condition. For example, let's say I am writing a program. In that program I want to take the age of students who are greater than 18, who are older than 18. So what I can do in programming, I will write if, let's say age is the variable, if age is greater than 18, then in that I will print, okay, the student is like system.out.print, student age is greater than 18. I am printing something like that. If it is not, then I will go into else block. Like this, to create a condition similar to that, what we will do is that we will use where clause. In this I will write, okay, select, what is the column, like which column I want to select. Let's say I want to select the column which is having the name age. So here I will write age. From which table? Student table. So here I will write from student table where the condition age should be greater than 18. Like this I can create multiple conditions. We will be having arithmetic condition, comparison condition, logical operator. Like this we might have different conditions, and what this statement will do is that it will return me all the values of my table which is having age greater than or equals to 18. Let's say here this is the table I have created, right? And fourth name is Khan, and let's say 18, 19, 19, 19. Okay, third year, some 10 CGPA, CSC. Now my handwriting is really bad, I know that, but try to understand here. So here whenever I run the where clause now, it will run basically a loop. Internally a loop will run and it will check whether the age is greater than 18 or not. You can see the first name is Jabir Hussain and his age is 18, not greater than 18. So here I will eliminate, I will not take Jabir Hussain into consideration. I will take other students. So here what this statement will do is that I will print the values of Rizwan and Moin and Khan, right? Because their age is greater than 18. So this is how we use select statement, select where clause basically. So here I will write where clause. Now what I'm gonna do is that I will write select. You can see I'm having 4 values. Among these 4 values, the condition is I will choose the students who are having age greater than 18. So here I will write select star from students, student is my table name, so students where my age should be greater than 18. Now what this statement will do, it will return me the rows which are having the age value greater than 18. So here let me select it and run. You will see I'm having I don't know how to zoom this terminal. Okay, here you can see I'm having Rizwan, age is 19, Moin, age is 19, Khan, age is 19, and you can see lastly I'm having null. I'm not taking Jabir into consideration. Why is that? Because Jabir's age is not greater than 19. Okay, I hope you have understood. What is where clause? Where clause is a type of condition. If we want to, clause is basically a condition. If you want to create condition in SQL, then you will use clauses, and where clause is one of the types of conditions in SQL. Now in where clause we have different types based on our operators. Here we will be having different operators. Let me show you. In where clause, I have shown you how where clause will work, and in this we will be having three main operators: arithmetic operator, comparison operator, logical, and bitwise. Arithmetic is basically, let's say you are performing some addition, subtraction, basic mathematical operations. Now if you are performing basic mathematical operations within the where clause, then you will call that thing as arithmetic where clause. Okay, clear? I will show you with examples. I will show each and everything. Now if you are comparing something, if you are comparing the values of a column with respect to a numerical value, with respect to a character, whatever it might be, if comparison is happening there, then you will call it as a comparison operator. In the previous example, what we did, we ran the example where age is greater than 18. We are choosing values, we are choosing data points which are greater than 18. So this is a comparison operation. Okay, now logical. In programming, I'm damn sure in physics also we might have studied and or operator, logical operator, and we will mostly focus on and or not operator, and in future, in few minutes, we will see in between these two operators as well. Okay, so here logical operators are nothing but, let's say we are having a statement, comparison of two statements, and based on this comparison will give some result. For example, if we are applying AND operator, if we are using AND operator, and in this we will be having two operands, you can say operands, right? Let's say operand 1, operand 2, and among this you are performing logical AND operation. Then what this will happen, what this will do is that it will check whether operator 1, the statement 1 which we have given, is true or not. If it is true and the second statement is also true, then and only my output would be true. Okay, clear? If I'm performing OR operation and this is my operator 1 and OR operator, operator 2, and let's say among these two, if any of this operator is true, then my output would be true. If both are false, then and only in logical AND our output would be false. Okay, like this we will perform logical operator. And one more thing is bitwise operator. Bitwise and logical operator are kind of same, but in logical we will apply logical operators on actual statements, whereas in bitwise we perform logical operator but on binary numbers. This is the key difference between logical operator and bitwise operator. Okay, clear? I will show you, like let me show you with an example. So here first of all let me remove this. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is that I will first of all use the concept of arithmetic operator. So here I will select students, among the students from students where, let's say my marks plus 5. If I am adding 5 extra marks to each and every column, if I am getting a value greater than 95, right? Here you can see, if I am adding something with my marks column and if I am getting a value greater than 95, then I want to select all these rows. So here what I am doing, I am performing addition operation within the where clause. So this is the example of arithmetic operator. Okay, now if I run this command, then what will happen? I will only get the values. You can see I am only getting the values Rizwan and Moin, because if I add plus 5 to their marks, then I will get the output greater than 95, and I will not get Jabir and Khan, because if I add marks to Jabir and Khan, then their marks would be 95. You can see Jabir marks is 90, Khan marks is also 90. Okay, got it. I hope you have understood how arithmetic operator works. Now I will remove this. Okay. Now I will show how comparison. Just now we have seen this is a example of comparison. If I am comparing a particular column to a particular row, then it is an example of comparison operator. Okay, this is an example of comparison operator. Now let me show you logical operator. So here I will write, let's say, among the students, from students where department, let's say department is equals to history or science, 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 and their marks should be greater than 80. Their marks should be greater than 80. Here you can see I am combining two statements. First of all, I am choosing, in my old table I am choosing the students who are having science background. Here there are only two students, Rizwan and Jabir. Now in this also I am adding another condition using AND operator, right? If their marks is greater than 80, then and only I will choose them, or else I will not choose them. So this is a example of logical operator. Now if I run this, I will get output as Rizwan and Jabir. I hope this screen is clear to you guys, visible to you guys. The size is very small. I don't know how to increase it. If you know, then comment it out. Okay, now after this I will show you binary bitwise operator as well. So here let's say I'm selecting star from students where my ID, and if I'm performing I'm performing AND operator. So what is happening here is each student will have an ID. Now this ID is a number, and this number will get converted into binary format, and 1 is also a binary number. 1 will also get converted into binary, and among these two, ID in the form of binary, 1 in the form of binary, these two numbers will go into a binary bitwise operator, and if I'm getting the output is equals to 1, then I will print the particular row value. So this is an example of this line 17 is the example of bitwise operator. So here I will run this, and you will see I'm getting only Jabir and Moin, because if their ID and operator with 1, if the binary answer is 1, then and only I will choose the tables. So I hope you have understood what is arithmetic, comparison, logical and bitwise operator. Now let us talk about some other use cases, operators which are frequently used in where clause. So the next and the most frequently used operators are AND, OR, between, in, not. So here and we have seen AND. If both statements are true, let's say this is my statement 1, this is my statement 2. If both are this true, then and only I will choose that particular row into my table, or else I will not choose them. I will not select them. So this is how AND will work. Now the second one is OR statement. OR will tell me that if either of the statements is true, then I will choose the particular row. Right? It has to be either one of it true. Now between, this is an interesting one. Let's say in my table they are marks, like they are marks of different students, right? Now in this I want to choose students who are having marks in a range from 50 to 70 or 80 to 90, 95 to 100. If I want to choose students based on a particular range, then I will use between operator. Now in is basically if you want to choose students who are in CST department, who are in a particular field, then you will use in statement. Not is basically condition. If you want to remove a particular row who is having this condition, then you will write not. Let me show you all these three as well. I will show you between, in and not. So here let me remove this. Okay, now first of all I will write statement for between. So here let's say select star from student and I will give students, right? So students, okay, I will write students where marks between 70 or 95 and 100. Here I need to give and 100. So what this statement will do is that it will choose students from 95 to 100. Let me see. You will see I'm having only 2 students again, Moinuddin and Rizwan. So like this, between statement will work. Now in statement, in is used to check whether a particular student is in this particular field or not. So here I will write select star from students where let's say department in let's say I want to choose only science students. So here I will write science, SCIENCE science, and I want to choose students who are also in history. So here I will write history. Now statement terminator, let me run this. Okay, it is showing some sort of error because there are no students who are in both history and okay, let me remove this. Let me remove this and run this again. Select students from where department. Okay, here I need to give department spelling is wrong. Okay, now let me choose and run again. You will get the output as the students who are in science and department, Jabir, Rizwan and Khan. Okay, now we have seen between, in. Now let us talk about the last one, which is not operator, right? So here let's say select star, I want to choose a student who is not in science. So here I will write students where department not in department, right? So here where not department is equals to, and I will give science, I will choose students who are not in science, and I will run this, run it, and you will see I am choosing students Moin and Khan. These 2 students, their department are maths and history. So those students who are not having science department, their field will get selected. Now the next concept you are having is limit clause. Limit clause also really interesting. For example, in my row, let's say I am having a database, a table. In that table, I am having student around 100 students. Okay, now in this 100 students, my requirement is I want to choose only 10 students randomly, or in a row wise format from beginning to ending. I want to choose them. Then in that case, what I will do is that I will use limit clause. What this clause will do is that I will create a limit. Okay, if this is the condition, then I will stop my loop, or you can say selection process. So here limit clause in how we'll write is, first of all we will write, let's say I want to select everything from my table, from my student table, and I will set the limit. Let's say I want to choose only 2 students, so here I will write 2, and along with it I can give constraints as well. I want to choose 2 students who are having marks greater than 95. Then here in this condition I can also add a where condition, or I can also add, based on my scenario, I can add constraints. Like this limit clause will work. Limit clause is used to select n number of students among our table. Let's say in 100 students I want to choose only 5 students, then in that case I will use limit clause. Let me write it. So here I will write it select, let's say in my table I want to select students. Let's say in my table how many students are there? Jabir is there, Rizwan, Moin, so basically around 4 students. Now I want to choose only 2 students. So what I will do is that select star from students DENTS students, and I will create a limit, and the limit is 2. So what this will do, I will only select randomly or in an ordered wise based on the version of SQL 2 rows, that's all, and I will ignore other things. So here I will run this and let us see what the output is. So run it and you will see I am getting only Jabber entries 1 and all the remaining things are null, right? I'm not choosing other things. So this is how limit clause will work. Now if you want to create a constraint, you can do it. If my I want to choose students who are having marks greater than 95, then in that case I can add constraints as well. The next operator, the next concept you are having is aggregate functions. So this is really interesting and at the same time easy concept, right? So here aggregate functions, in my table I'm having different values. You can see I'm having grade 9.9, 9.8 something. Each student is having different grades. Now aggregate, the meaning of aggregate function, aggregate function is that let's say among this n number of values you wanna perform some operations, and from this n number of values you want to extract one value out of it. Then in that case you will use aggregate function. Let me explain it. Here I am having grades. Grades are 9.8, 9.9, 10, something like that. I am having random grades. Now these all are different values. These all are different values, right? Now if you want to perform operations on this different values to get a single value, then it is known as a aggregate function, and that operation can be calculating average of this whole data or mode or getting the count, how many data points are there. So here what I'm doing, among this n values I'm trying to find, by performing some operations I'm trying to find a single value out of it. So this is the meaning of aggregate function. Okay, and in aggregate function we are having different like concepts. Let me show you. Here count is one of the functions, and this will count how many data points are there or how many rows are there. It is used to calculate total number of rows or number of rows. Now max is in among given data points. Let's say I'm having 9.9, 10 or 9.5. So this will give me the maximum row data point. Okay, I'm using data point again and again, but it will give me the maximum row which is having maximum value. Okay, after this minimum is opposite to maximum. It will give the values which are minimum in nature. Now sum will calculate the average, not average but overall addition of my whole column, and it will give the sum of your like whole column. Now average is used to calculate the average of this whole column. So here might be a little bit confusing, but when I run the command now, I hope this is going to be a very smooth lecture. You are with me guys. So here let us try aggregate functions. So here what I'm gonna do is that I will close it and let me write aggregate functions now. So select, first of all I will write count. I want to count everything in my whole table. I want to count how many rows I'm having. So from students, I know how many rows I'm having, around 4, right? So let me run it and see what the output is. You will see I'm having output as 4 because in my whole table the total number of rows are 4. Now the next command is, I think, sum average. Okay, let us calculate average. Really, this sometimes SQL interface is very bad. I don't know, very old school thing. Let's say select average from my marks. I want to calculate average from my marks. Now from students, DENTS, students. Okay, now let me run this and we will see what is the average. The average is 93.5. okay, like this we will calculate average, and along with it I can also select maximum value. So maximum okay among marks from student, the same line, students, students. So here you can see the maximum number of marks are 99. Moinuddin is having maximum marks. So here I will run this command and I should get 99 as maximum marks, and that particular row is Moinuddin's row. Okay, this is how aggregate commands will work. What is the definition of aggregate commands? Among n values, if you are going to perform operations on this n values to get one value out of it, then that thing is known as a aggregate function. And there are a lot of functions in like methods in aggregate function. I will provide you in detail link of this entire lecture. By just following this whole link, you can understand each and every nuance of every concept. So the next concept is, we have studied how to create a database, how to use the database, create a table, use the table, insert values into the table, how to see what are the values are there in my table. We have seen all that. Now my question is, okay, I'm having student table. How to update it, how to alter a particular row, how to add a particular column, and how I'm going to delete. Let's say I have inserted here, I don't want Jabir row, I want to delete a particular single row. Then how I'm gonna do it? We are going to study all that, updation, deletion and altering processes. Basically CRUD, not CRUD exactly, but similar to CRUD. So here the table queries is, first one is update command. Let's say I want to update the existing rows in my table, then I will use update command, and the syntax is, first of all I will write update keyword. After that I will write the table name and which column I wanna change. Here let's say I'm having student table, right? In that student table I'm having ID, name, marks, department. Now let's say this is my row 1, row 2, row 3. I want to update row 1 or column 1, right? Column, this will work for column. So let's say I want to change column 1 with some other, I want to change this ID to roll number. Then I will use update column, right? Update command. Let me show you how this will work. So to update things, what I'm gonna do is that I will write update students, students, students. Let's say set marks. Like let's say here I want to change the student marks, right? Here let's say I'm having, let me explain you very clearly. I'm having name, in the name I'm having different names, like different student names, Jabir, Moinuddin, Rizwan, Khan. Now I want to change the marks of Jabir. Then I can write here, I want to update it, not change it, update it. So here I will write set marks is equals to, what is Jabir's marks right now? 90, and I want to change it to 85. So here I will write 85 and name is equals to Jabir, right? Let me run it and my table will be updated. So here name, where, here I need to write where name is equals to Jabir. Now let me run this command, and when I run the command now, my table, here you can see you are using safe update. Okay, this updation will work, but yeah, here what will happen is that, the name, the student who is having name, his marks will get updated. Like this, you can update a particular thing in my table using column values. Now the next concept is deletion. Let's say I want to delete a particular row, right? In my table I am having different rows, right? If I want to delete a single row or set of rows, then in that case I will use delete command. And here how this will work, so here I will write delete, and let's say from student where age should be greater than or less than 18. right? If a student who is having less than 18, then I want to delete that particular student's row, right? Basically in my table, what is the row 1? Jabir age is 18, Rizwan's age is 19, Moin age is 19, Khan's age is 19, right? Now if I want to delete Jabir's row, then here I will write age should be greater than or equals to 19. So this condition will match with my row, and if the condition is matching, then what delete command will do is that it will delete the entire row from my table. So here I will run this command and run it. You will see student. Here I need to write students, save it and run it again. My student will like that particular row of my student will get deleted. This is how I will use my delete command. Now alter is also an interesting command. Alter is used to change the schema. For example, let's say right now in my table what I'm having ID, name, grade, department, right? Now if I want to add a column for emails, let's say I want to add a new column to store the student's email, then in that case I will use alter command. So here I will write alter table and table name, add that particular column with the corresponding data types, right? Like this alter command will work. So let me show you how this will work. What I'm gonna do is that I will write alter table, student table, right? students, student table, students, okay, student table, add column, let's say email, and this will be, what is the data type of email? A string. So here I will write varchar and varchar 100 or 50. Now what this will do is that it will create a new column, right? This will create a new column in my database. Okay, so this is updation, deletion and alter, and the last command is truncate command, right? Truncate command is used to delete the table's data. Right now I'm having Jabir, Rizwan, Moin, Khan, these 4 people data, right? If I want to delete the entire data of the table, then I will use truncate command. If I want to drop the entire table, then I will use drop command. We have studied drop command in the last lecture, right? So here the syntax is, I will write truncate and table name. By writing this, we will delete, let's say this is my table, in that I am having different data, so all this data will be deleted. Okay, so here I will write here truncate table, and what is the table? Student is the table name, so students, students, right? Now if I run this now, my entire table, all the rows in my table will get deleted. Like this truncate command will work. So I think the lecture is around 45 minutes. So right now, till now, what we did, we have studied, so let me drop it down. Okay, so till now what we did is, we have studied what is SQL, what is MySQL, how to create a database, how to create a new connection in my MySQL server, dropping a database, creating tables in my database and different conditions, data types in SQL, creating table, inserting data in table, deleting rows, deleting columns and selecting columns, arithmetic operators, AND operators, bitwise operators, aggregate functions, limit clause, where clause, and there is also another clause called as order clause, given clause. All this I will provide you the link in the description. By just following the link, you can understand it in a very easy manner, right? So till now we have also studied like how to update a table, alter a table, change the overall structure of the table, and truncate command, delete commands. What is the difference between delete, truncate and drop is that delete will delete a particular row, like whatever the rows you are choosing. If that particular condition is true, then I will delete that row. Whereas truncate will, irrespective of the condition, it doesn't check for any condition, it will delete all the rows in the table. And drop will delete the entire table. So this is the key differences between delete, truncate and drop. Okay, got it. This is about basic understanding of SQL. These are the important commands which we will all the time use in development processes. Okay, yeah, this is about basic understanding of SQL. Now in the next lecture it is going to be really interesting, because we are gonna add Node backend into our SQL, and we will see how we can send data from our backend to our database, from our database how we can retrieve data to the front end. So here from now on we will integrate databases into backend. With that being said, I'm really interested and looking forward to have you in the next lectures. If you have any doubts, you can comment it down, or you can connect with me in LinkedIn. And yeah, I will see you in the next one.